Hi everybody, this is Diane. I am surrounded by a mess, which is pretty typical, but with this kind of journal, I always have all kinds of stuff all over the place. I have fabrics and trims and all kinds of cards and embellishments and you name it. Whatever I want to put into these kitchen sink journals. I have been working today on embellishing the pages, decorating the pages, and adding pockets and other elements. Sorry, I'm just moving my stuff where I need it. So let me just show you a little bit. We're going to do some more decorating. These signatures belong in this journal. If you haven't seen the previous videos, I did do a video showing how I make these covers and decorate them. So on the front signature of this one, I have a CD envelope, and I tucked a part of the brown. This cellophane is supposed to be glued into the envelope, but I'll have to fix that because it came loose, so I'm going to just glue it to the top. But anyway, this is part of that brown accordion file folder that I got at the thrift store. And I'm going to leave this plain probably so that you can add whatever embellishments if you want to add some decoration to it. But I just took a scrap of coffee dyed paper strip and made a hinge to glue that on there. Got a piece of a post-it note here with an envelope glued to it. I just sewed a little scrap of fabric to that. Some fabric pieces here on the larger piece of the brown envelope or file folder. And for this is a cloth book that had images of dolls from other countries. I might have to move that because I noticed that this got caught in this card. So let's just move this here. So on this I sewed the, I guess I did this in yesterday's video. I sewed the flashcard to the paper, and today I added a little fabric circle. This is a Satisfaction Guaranteed vintage sticker. And then I added this vintage cola label. I got both of those pieces, this and this one, from the Boston Bag Lady on Etsy. This is the wallpaper border, and I added a piece of fabric and a playing card, and I just tucked this in there. I used the front cover of one of my S&H green stamp books. They're quite thin, so I just sewed it to a piece of leftover paper and sewed it on as a pocket and put in a recipe card. I sewed a fabric flip on here. It's got a little strip of patchwork sewn on to that fabric flip. And then this is just a scrap of a vintage sheet with the selvage of a fabric that has shoes. I thought that was really cute. Just some more fabric and sari silk there, and a fabric hexagon here, and some checkered bias tape. And here I just paper clipped a strip of blue stamps you can use in the journal any way you'd like. And on the back I have a large pocket from this image. Somebody sent me several images similar to this, so I put one in each book. And someone also sent me a paper ruffle, so long strips of paper ruffle. So I cut that and just sewed a piece up there. And this is a pretty tall pocket, so I inserted this long tag, which was also in Happy Mail. It's a repair tag, probably for sewing machines because it advertises sewing needles. And then this is just a tag that I had cut with a 6x6, 8x8 paper, sorry. So I'm not doing the same thing in every signature, but I want to make sure some of these ideas get translated into the other journals, if not every signature. I started on this signature with a piece of the paper doll book with the houses. So I made sure every journal got a piece of that, and I put a couple of vintage flashcards in there. And some fabric there. I'm going to sew it's a playing card, and sew that to that. So there's another new feature on this machine that I'm trying out today, and that is I unhooked my foot pedal, because I have a start and stop. Oh, you can't see. Oops. I have a start and stop button right there. So I'm trying that. I'm so used to just, lifting my foot a quarter of an inch to stop my machine. And sometimes my machine just keeps going when I think it should stop, and I realized that I picked my foot up, but my foot wasn't on the foot pedal, so it didn't have any effect on the sewing machine. My sewing machine doesn't care if I pick my foot up. Just put a little fabric on this, but I'm getting used to it. Put some black thread in my machine because I like using black thread in these kind of journals. I started out with my cream colored thread. I hadn't even thought about it because I was just concentrating on getting used to my machine. I think I'll put a little green rickrack on one of these cards. Another thing I learned about this machine is that it's super fast. On probably every other machine I've had, if it had a setting that would allow you to adjust the speed. Of course, the amount of pressure you put on the foot pedal also adjusted the speed, but if you're not using the foot pedal, then it doesn't affect it. But I always had it set at the highest speed. Well, I can't on this because I did that and it just took off, and I couldn't control anything. It seemed like I panicked. It went so fast. So I changed that, adjusted that setting. Put a little fabric on here. I don't want to take up your writing space, but I do want to decorate. make it go a little faster, but one little increment is different. So, you know, still getting used to it. Let's see, what else did I use in this book that I want to make sure I include? I need to do something to this. This one has a vintage store sales card. That came from the Boston Bag Lady also. I got some really fun stuff from her recently. There I go, touching my buttons again. Wish I could put a plate over that so I don't touch them. It'd be kind of fun to put something like this on, because that would really hinder writing, but if it's on a flap like that, you could open... Oh, I put a pocket on here. I'll make sure I don't close that up. I think I'm going to do that. Because you can open up the flap so the pom-pom trim isn't in your way when you're writing. Put a little playing card on there too. I can't have my sewing machine in view as much as I try to. I have too much stuff on my table. While I have this out, I might as well put something on that. I want to make a little pocket somewhere so I can put one of these tags in it. There's a rook card. And a fabric hexagon. I guess just the rook card. Oops. I keep hitting stop when I want it to reverse. Okay, so we've got that done. I think I will put a little pocket on this. I was thinking about using one of my petal fabric pieces. Try to make a pocket out of that. Because I don't need a big pocket. Is that big enough? If it's not, I'll put something little in there and make a slightly bigger pocket. So I've wound a bobbin on my new machine. I brought it, when I brought it home, the bobbin was already in it because we had done it, tried it out. Me and the salesperson. The lady that fixes the machines is the one that was helping me pick one out. So I already had the cream colored thread in there, but I filled up a bobbin with black thread today, so I know how to do my bobbin now. Well, actually, I had to fill the bobbin yesterday because it ran out of the cream, so I did do that. It's a different bobbin, slightly different bobbin than what I had. So it came with 4. I'm going to have to buy a few more. Make sure I always have enough bobbins on hand. I think I like that with it. I'll just put this at the top. This is that fabric ruffle. I didn't check to see if that pocket would work for my plant card. I think it'll work. If as I work in the book I realize that it's not staying in there very good, I can move it. Now I need to do something here because this tab is in rough shape. I don't want to cut the tab off. So I think I'm going to look for a miniature playing card. I know right where they are. I'll be right back. I brought in an assortment of regular size playing cards, but I didn't bring a miniature one in. And I'm not going to sew it because that paper is so fragile. So I will just glue a card here. Look at that, isn't that so pretty? And it's so tiny. I mean, these are my miniature cards, but this one is even tinier. Okay. I haven't set my clock back yet, or forward. So it's actually 2 o'clock. Okay, so that will stabilize that, and I see there's a crack up here. I did reinforce the spine, so that won't be a problem, but I want to put some fabric or something on that crack. And again, I can't sew it. You hear my chair squeaking. The back of the chair squeaks when I move. Making a mess on my table. Too much stuff around. Just for fun, I'll add a little piece of lace. Gather these cards up before they just go everywhere. That's cute. I'm going to put that right there. Sorry. Just trying to save myself a disaster. Have a recipe card, or no, yeah, it's a note card, but it's a recipe card, and that will have something inside it. But you can open that up and have a lot of writing space there. I'm just seeing what cards I have out here. See if I could put something in there. But I guess I'll work on that later. I think I want to add a little color, see how nicely that looks with that card. I have to add some of these buttons on somewhere. And that looks like a good spot to me. Get used to where the handle is for raising up, or the lever for raising and lowering my foot pedal, or that thing. My foot. Oh, did I run out of black bobbin thread? No. Oh, my needle came unthreaded again. Got to figure out what I'm doing. It's the first time I've done it today, though, so that's an improvement. I'm trying really hard not to get my hair in the camera. There, I got it. I haven't been to the beauty parlor, the salon, in so long. My hair is so long. I really need to cut it. Probably been over a year since I've gone. I'm going to do another stitch closer down to the bottom there. And I'll just do a straight stitch. There, that's the second signature. There might be more added to it at some point, but I think that's fun with the buttons hanging off the bottom there. Let's see how that looks in the book. Yep, you can see them kind of hanging there with the fringe. So that's fun. I like that. What are we going to do here? Maybe another card. Sew that on and make it a pocket here. Close up to the fold there, but not go over the fold. I will have to, I did put some things in the pockets as I went along, as you saw, but I will have to go back and make sure I add what I need to add to the pockets. For this one, I'm going to sew a few of the fabric circles to it. This one has bicycles on it. This one has the Chrysler building, so that's fun. But before I do that, I want to do it with a stitch, a fancier stitch. So I need to practice on something so I get the tension right, or the length and width right. I'm looking for a scrap paper I can sew on. Yesterday was trash day, so I just emptied my trash can. Last night, well, actually this morning was trash day, so I didn't have anything in my trash can I could use. So what I want to use, oh, I have a card that has all my stitches on it. I had it attached to my machine, but I heard it fall off while I was sewing. Where'd it go? I need my card. Oh, here it is. See this little card? It has a little holder on the top of my machine, and I can flip it down when I don't need it. But if it keeps falling off, I can just store it in a drawer nearby. Well, let's look at the stitches. I wanted to try this one. It's a scallop. I think it's a scallop. It says 40A. I guess I'm going to have to read my book to know how to get that stitch. I've got straight stitches and zigzags that I can just push one button, but the other ones I have to push numbers, and I don't know how to make it accept that. And my, well, I can access my book. Oh, sorry. This was in a drawer, kind of hiding between the legs of my tripod. Basic sewing, decorative sewing. Well, I'm going to have to look at that when you're not sitting here watching me. So I will just use zigzag, I guess. I'll just use zigzag. That looks fun, even if it is just zigzag. I love these pages with the doll clothes patterns. I just have a little scrap of seam binding here. This tab is in really good shape on this page. On this one, I took a large card that I got at a flea market and made a hinge for it so you could flip it up and you can still glue something down there. I knew that I wouldn't be able to make a pocket big enough for this in these books because that's a pretty big card. So I just did it that way. I'm gonna do more green stamps here. Instead of a cover, I think I'll just use a page that actually has stamps on it. Oh, I didn't tell you I'm gonna go to Lewisburg this week with my friend Debbie. I went to Lewisburg with her either last year or the year before. Must have been the year before. Yeah, it was the year before. Anyway, there's an antique mall in an old mill. They have a lot of stuff there, and it was pricier than what I normally see when I go to my flea markets. But I found some good things, and I did have some good prices on some of it. So we're going to do that Thursday. Today's Tuesday. You might be seeing this video on Thursday, actually. So I have my friend Debbie that I go more south in Pennsylvania when we go on an outing, and then my friend Lisa, we went real north. We went to Alaska, but that wasn't for flea markets. But she's the one I went to Salamanca, New York with, and Lisa is the one that bought that house, not the house, but the contents of the house, and gave me stuff. So I have two friends that I can do flea market stuff with. That's really cool. So you saw I just, this sheet is rather thin, so I just backed it with a piece of scrapbook paper. It's not even cardstock. It's just scrapbook paper, just to give it a little stability. Oh, what's going on here? That blue rickrack would be fun to add to it. Again, picking my foot up doesn't help. Static. The threads keep sticking to my hands. Hey, I said stop. I wasn't looking and had my finger on the wrong button. I'll just put one of these clock cards in there. For now, I'll probably put something else in there too. I think I'll add a little miniature card here. This turtle is cute. I'm gonna have to say goodbye pretty soon. I'm at 44 minutes already. I almost had two cards there together. My camera will probably shut off if I don't stop it soon. I can backstitch after I hit stop, but it's really, really slow. I'll show you what I did to reinforce this really crumpled up eye chart piece. If you saw when I was gathering up my pages in the other video, this was really folded up and didn't want to lay flat. So to flatten it out, I glued on this part of a flash card. It's nice and sturdy, and then at the top I took a scrap piece of cardstock and just sewed some fabric to it and glued that to the top. So that helps make it lie flat. And then I added this plant card that I had decorated previously. I had enough that I could put one of those in each journal. So I'm going to stop the camera now and I'm going to keep working. And maybe the next video you see will be the flip through of at least one of the journals. I'm not sure if I'll do more process videos because I'm basically going to do more of what I'm doing today. So if I have anything interesting to show you, I will. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye, and I hope that you are just anticipating seeing these journals when they're finished and full, and all the fun stuff is already added to them. And so I will see you then. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.